Hi, welcome to this edition of New Clients Now. I'm Martin Bissett, and we've got 5 minutes now to try and put across an idea called Progress. Okay, now this is an acronym, and the reason for it is because so often many practitioners say to me, well, how do we make progress in fee growth when we've got so many other things on our mind? We've got cash collection issues, we've got staff issues, we've got billing issues, work in progress issues, and so on and so forth. And it can be difficult, especially for a solo practitioner, when you've got partners, maybe a different situation. But it can be difficult to try and get those maybe half an hours eked out in your schedule to make some serious inroads into building up the pipeline of new potential fees. So, this idea of progress kept coming up. How do we make progress? How do we make progress? And so we turned it into an acronym to show you what this progress actually stands for and how you can use short bursts of time in your schedule, early mornings, late afternoons, times when you're typically quieter, to make some serious progress in getting new fees in the door. Let me show you how this works. The P in progress actually stands for prospects. Let's say we've got 20 minutes in our day and we don't know what to work on first. Let's take a look at potential clients that we haven't yet won, prospects that are currently in play. And let's see if there's anything else we can do just to move it a wee bit further. Perhaps we can set up a new meeting. Perhaps we can get an introduction from a mutual friend to start a conversation. So wherever you're at with your prospects, perhaps you could spend just maybe 15 to 20 minutes edging them that little bit further. The R is for retention. Now, of course, one way to negate a need to have a large prospect pipeline is to keep what you've already got and to grow it organically. So maybe we take 15 to 20 minutes of our day to speak to a client, like a client a day program, for example, and just have no real agenda there except to find out how that client's doing. They're not paying for it, you're not charging for it, this is business development time. But in the same way as with prospects, we're just taking 1 or 2 simple steps to solidify the relationship, maybe find new opportunities, because so often when we're talking to existing clients we get this, oh, while you're here, could you please? And conversations start that can lead to new work. So just retaining what we've already got could be a fantastic use of short spaces of time in our schedule. Our O stands for old clients. So often in firms I see that client loss has come from a lack of getting close to the client, what one firm actually calls a lack of cuddling, believe it or not. They use a code, LOC, to indicate they lost the client due to lack of cuddling. And they weren't getting close enough to find out what that business really needed. They were offering compliance services reactively, and therefore as needs grew in that business, they didn't know about it, they couldn't react to it, they weren't consulted about it, and so on. And as a result, clients get lost, which need to be won back. Now, often clients leave because there's cheaper ways of getting their compliance service dealt with. Sometimes they think that they are promised the earth by some other firm, but that doesn't turn out to be the case. What does turn out to be the case is that they're too proud, once they've made a bad move, to ask to come back. You reach out to old clients, you may be surprised at the opportunities that lie within. The G here stands for grade A, meaning your wish list, your best. Common mistake here is that grade A actually means, you know, the ultimate businesses with strong cash balances and so on. You actually need to look for those who've got great businesses but poor cash flow, as there's the greatest need. Our second R here stands for referrals, our fastest form of getting an inquiry to become a new client. Let's look at where our referral sources could really help us out. The E here stands for X inquiries. Often through the website or through the phone, we've had a message from somebody saying they'd like to talk to us, and we return that call and we don't get through to them, and they return the call and they don't get through to us, and it just goes cold before we ever had the chance to meet. Take a look in case your firm keeps a log of X inquiries that you could perhaps resurrect and start the conversation. They wanted to talk to you at some point enough, so maybe they could again. This leaves us with the last two S's. The first one is sales skills. If you feel uncomfortable for any reason with making any of the previous steps, then practice first of all your abilities to reach out, the conversation topics you might use, the points of interest, the reasons for speaking. And if sales skills are pretty much where they need to be, then have a look at the final S, your sales pipeline. How's the pipeline looking? Is it stacked up high with new prospects but low on referrals? Have we got many old clients in it? Which of these here need to be worked on to make this pipeline well balanced? So there we go, okay? Making progress in short steps by using any one of these disciplines to make short progress in the short spaces of time you've got available. I hope you found that useful. I'll see you in the next edition.